And it looked like she recorded that and posted it. The fact y'all didn't snatch her phone before she posted that is irresponsible. You know what I mean? It's irresponsible. That's what it is. We need to take accountability and responsibility for one another if we want to build this country again. You can't have that lady out there talking about somebody's facelift.
File your own taxes 100% free in the Credit Karma app by February 28th. If you didn't file with TurboTax.
That's not the America that I want. That's not the America that I want. And as far as your political statement, oh, you mean love is more powerful than hate? Is that what you? Is that? That's your political statement? Irregardless of the nonsense of you simultaneously saying there was no white people and then taking a shot at Lady Gaga, how integrated was the Turning Point USA? Can't even see no black hats over there. Can't even see no black hats. They couldn't even wear black pants over there. It's true. I heard that Lee Bryce showed up with some black shoes, and they made him change them. They made him change them. They gave him a pair of yellow issue bowling shoes. I also heard that's why the footage doesn't look that good, because when they originally pre-shot it, and they showed up with these professional black cameras, and they said no black cameras. They shot it all on white iPhones. That's why the footage looks like that. Now, what's particularly wild about this is we have a litany of examples of how PB ends, especially within MAGA. And FAFO season is undefeated. Jill Zarin fired after calling out Bad Bunny's Super Bowl performance for having no white people, as even her daughter fails to defend her. Hey, you got any other kids? Zarin's daughter, Allie Shapiro, whom she shares with ex-husband Steven Shapiro, also disagreed with her mom and commended Bad Bunny's performance. In my opinion, I loved it. The cinematography was fantastic. It was like they put a filter over it. It looked like a film. She continued, best halftime show in years, which honestly is weird to even call it that. It was like a true performance with a storyline and actors and the direction. Lighting, everything was perfect. She didn't like it that much. She put extra on that. That's your daughter. She put extra on that. I don't know what you said to her, but don't be talking like that. Like that was about you. Jill Zarin's dreams of returning to reality TV have been dashed after she was fired from E's upcoming reality TV series, The Golden Life, over racist comments she made about Bad Bunny's halftime show. After the video went viral, Zarin, who has since deleted the post, was fired. No, wait. Since deleted the post? We not standing on business. If that's how you gonna speak out in defense of MAGA and an administration got police running rampant, just got kids doing black market all through the Epstein files. Now you speak out in defense of MAGA, but because you get some blowback, now you want to delete it? We way past that. In light of recent public comments made by Jill Zarin, Blink 49 Studios has decided not to move forward with her involvement in The Golden Life. We remain committed to delivering the series in line with our community standards and values from the show's producers. Blink and you gone, ain't it? It's Blink and she was gone. She was back to unemployed. Wow. Well, you know what, on the bright side, maybe the next series, what come after The Golden Life? Is it Shady Pines? They got a series on the Learning Channel. The series was also set to include Ramona Singer, Sonia Morgan, Luann de Lesseps, and Kelly Ben Simone. After her rant, Morgan seemingly shaded Zarin with a post on her Instagram commending Bad Bunny for his performance. Celebrating with my chosen family Bad Bunny's Grammy, while also reiterating he's the first Latino to win one and just showing my love for my Latino friends and supporters. She didn't just get fired. She got dragged by people that didn't get fired. I like this. Anybody else want to get in on that thing? Morgan isn't the only housewife to condemn Zarin. Real Housewife of Orange County star Tamra Judge, who co-starred with Zarin on season 2 of The Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, tweeted, "What the actual F?" Real Housewives of Dubai star Chanel Ayan tweeted, "I had to unfollow disgusting" with a vomit emoji. Real Housewives of New Jersey star Margaret Joseph tweeted, "I'm horrified, disgusted, and disappointed. But that's my feeling every day. But elated by the NFL and Bad Bunny's beautiful representation of America." That was a beautiful representation of America. Good old-fashioned drag. Hey, real fucking Potomac. You know what I mean? Hey, Jim. Yeah, come down here and get your fucking in. Huh? Oh, watch it. I've watching since Candace left. Yeah, I've been to Candace house, like, forever. I mean, I peek on it from time to time, make sure that Wendy and Stacy okay. And Wendy and Stacy, they doing you? Okay. Y'all let us know. Just now and Ashley start acting up. Just send them out. Don't drag it out like Ashley divorced. Even Zarin's former company, Zarin Fabrics, called her out for her post. Zarin Fabrics stands firmly against racism, discrimination, and rhetoric that seeks to exclude or diminish people based on identity, culture, or background. We want to be absolutely clear that Jill Zarin has not had ownership of or been associated with Zarin Fabrics for several years. Your old company came out and posted that. They came out the woodworks. They came out the woodworks for that. When's the last time they tweet? When's the last time they posted on Instagram? They ain't posted on Instagram since the Obama administration. They dusted. Who got the password? No, we dragging Jill. We dragging Jill. I mean, who got the password? Oh, Jill got the password? Ask her nicely what the. Let's just guess it. Hey, put in where the white people at? One housewife seemingly on Zarin's side is her former Housewives of New York co-star Bethany Frankel. Okay, we feeling froggy. Who shares similar sentiments to Zarin in a since deleted TikTok video.
Taxes seems feeling Now taxes is an open door to new TurboTax stores. Meet our expert.
Yo. Since deleted. She pump faking. You got it. You take that. I'm going to delete mine first. I'm going to delete mine before you delete yours. Can't wait to get canceled for this, she said in the video. The question remains, should these entertainment vehicles, whether the Grammys, Emmys, the Oscars, or Super Bowl, should this be the place for personal, cultural, political views to be expressed? Where is the line? Did you say, can't wait to get canceled for this, and then delete the video? Y'all don't stand on nothing, man. I'm telling you, y'all wild. After deleting the video, Frankel seemed to walk back her comments by praising Bad Bunny's performance in a new video. So my take on Bad Bunny and his performance at the Super Bowl is that he's an artist expressing himself, his music, and his experience as a Puerto Rican man in America. Bad Bunny is a Puerto Rican man on the largest stage in the world, which is very inspirational to people, because that is him expressing his experience in his first language. You sure you don't want to talk about the cinematography? You don't want to talk? You don't want to say nothing about the lighting? No? You gonna say all that after? Can't wait to get canceled for this? We all crazy. Yo, you look like Jake Paul. You look like Jake Paul. No, because of the backtrack, and not because she looked like she. No, it's.
I'm sorry, Piers, but to get up there and perform the whole show in Spanish is a middle finger to the rest of America. Who gives a damn that we have 40 million Spanish speakers in the United States? We have 310 million who don't speak a lick of Spanish. This is supposed to be a unifying event for the country, not for the Latinos, not for one small group, but for the country.
So, in the before times, once you had gone on record and trying to mitigate PDF behavior, you wouldn't be allowed back on these platforms. Just for the kids out there. Just for the kids out there. In the before times, she would have been packed up. Just so y'all know. We live in a world where she still gets to be out here and perform her MAGA humiliation ritual. Where she says Latinos like that, and we've seen how she says black. But no, she's not racist though. She not. That was an homage. That was an homage to the Latinos. I'm surprised she didn't sprain her tongue with that one. I really am. I really am surprised she didn't sprain her tongue with that one and talk about we had 300 million people who speak English. I don't know what that was that I hear at the MAGA rally. Said it ain't English. And it's certainly not what I hear from stage either. Is that what Trump's speaking? Wrong. You can't learn on that. I can tell you definitely can't learn that. You know about people in foreign countries learning English from watching performers. You could probably learn more English watching Bad Bunny than Trump.
We don't need a black national anthem. We don't need a Spanish-speaking, non-English performer, and we don't need an ICE or America hater featured as our primetime entertainment.
That's actually good, because that's one of the things that Dr. King and Malcolm X, Frederick Douglass said this as well. I think Marcus Garvey said this, Angela Davis, all the black thinkers have always said, when it comes to the survival and the resistance and the continued thriving of our people, just ask Megyn Kelly what she, you know what I mean? Just ask, they all said ask Megyn Kelly what's good. You know, they all so that's you know what I mean? I'm glad she made it clear. I'm glad she made it clear. What would Megyn Kelly do? You know what I mean? That's what I always. And to the point that I asked earlier about where it hurts you when you see people of color, Latinos, black, whatever the case may be, according to Jill Zarin, Italian. Where does it hurt you when you see people of color enjoying themselves and having fun? According to Megyn Kelly, I think it's in the neck. I think it's a pain in the neck. Like when I watch her, I think it's something in here, or maybe it's something up here, or maybe she should just back away from the camera.
What is the national language officially? The national language of the United States of America?
I mean, English. And there's been a push for many years to make it an official documented thing. If you would let me finish my comment, I would have pointed that out. People have been pushing to make it official.
Okay,
all right,
so you're trying to make it official.
This attitude that you in Great Britain have lost your culture. You ceded your culture to a bunch of radical Muslims who came in and took over, and now it's gone. We're not allowing that here. Whether it's Hispanic, whether it's Muslim, it's not happening in the United States of America. That's why President Trump was elected. And whether it's Bad Bunny, who is American but refuses to speak English in his performances, or anybody else, we have to keep the Super Bowl, which is a quintessential American event. Football, that kind of football, is ours. They call it American football.
One thing I can tell you, Megyn Kelly, this went down about as well as your fake Spanish accent. Football evolved from rugby, England, apple pie, England, fried chicken, Scotland and West Africa, English, Christianity, Middle East, and her whole rant about Bad Bunny being too divisive, as if Turning Point, Kid Rock, and Trump are unifiers. Oh, hit her with a Christianity, Middle East, and an English, England combo. Oh, that was hard. Now that cut deep. That cut deep. You know, like a facelift. It cut that deep. Megan, if Trump liked it.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44. Complete AI creation platform. Describe what you want. And watch it take shape.
Yeah.
Gracias para vivir en la casa.
I'll be honest, that's I thought you were going somewhere that I couldn't post on YouTube if Trump liked it, but that works. That works too. Football is ours, yelled on a British show about a Puerto Rican rapper. Globalization doing parkour. The face that launched 1,000 Hawk restaurant recipes. Are we still expecting greatness? Come on. You know, I think psychologically, I don't think she ever took that bag off, if we're being honest. Certainly not for this week. The people who need their own halftime show are the same people who needed their own water fountains. 1,000%. But see, the degree of this crash out is so severe because it's counterproductive. You turn your ire on the people who helped deliver you this authoritarian takeover. That's right. And you did nothing but make it worse.
And they're saying Latin America is America too? And if you disagree, you're a hater? I'm not a hater. I had Emma make me nachos and soft shell tacos when I watched the game.
I'll take it after I get off this phone.
Yeah, nachos and soft shell tacos. Nachos and soft shell tacos.
Oh no.
Now, I know that I have been on Latinos for Trump's helmet up to this point. I really need a spokesperson to come help me with that one. Like, I really need a spokesperson to come help me with. This is the energy of, wasn't it that group of ICE that went and ate at the Mexican restaurant and they came back and raided it later? They was watching Jesse Bowles. This is that energy right there.
He's right, you know.
So if I got you straight, when it comes to service or something that you can appropriate, then it's totally fine. But respect is a bridge too far, is it not?
Why did I miss that?
It's one thing for me to hit on what were some of the very obvious on-the-nose themes of what we saw, but I have to lean on some of the crews in the community for a deeper cut. And shout out to my man Brandon Baez for this.
This in no way meant patriotism and love of America as a country. Actually, let's play a game. I'm going to tell you all the real symbolic cultural moments as a Boricua, including what this one was about, and I want you to tell me in the comments how many you got right. Now let's begin where it all started. We see the Jibaro, the traditional Puerto Rican countryman with the baba, the straw hat, saying, and interestingly enough, he starts by setting the precedent that all of this is going to be in Spanish because he says Benito Antonio Martínez Ocasio, his full government name, presents el espectáculo de medio tiempo del Supertazón, the spectacle of the halftime of the Super Bowl, all in Spanish. And if you look at the backdrop, you will see the sugarcane plantations, which in Puerto Rico were the backbone of the island's colonial economy, heavily dependent on enslaved African labor, particularly during the 19th century sugar boom. In the very next frames, we see Bad Bunny turned around before he reveals himself, himself, and he's wearing a 64 on his football jersey. 64 was the number the Trump administration gave out as the number of people who died after Hurricane Maria, but the actual death toll by that time was actually 1,052. Then we see Bad Bunny walk around the sugarcane plantation showing us very historical and cultural markers of Puerto Rican culture, like, for example, the coconut stand, which historically, coconuts provided subsistence for Puerto Rican workers and were considered a vital tree of life for supplying water, food, and oil. The abundance of coconut palms allowed them to become a staple for local businesses. Roadside coconut vendors became a staple of Puerto Rican culture, particularly in coastal areas offering fresh, chilled coconuts with the tops cut off. Then he walks by the table of father, uncles, and grandfathers playing dominoes, which in Puerto Rico, dominoes, or el dominó, is more than just a game. It is a cherished cultural staple, social ritual, and symbol of community that bridges generations together through strategy and storytelling. He then walks by badass Puerto Rican women doing construction, which represents badass Puerto Rican women who shouldn't be underestimated because they also do manual labor, like construction, very subversive to the patriarchy. Then he walks by a piragua cart. Now, piraguas are more than just a shaved ice dessert in Puerto Rico. They're actually a cultural icon, a symbol of nostalgia and a staple of island life. Brought to places like New York City during the Great Migration in the 1940s, piraguas symbolized the adaptability and endurance of Puerto Rican culture in new environments. But then we see him walk by a taco cart, but not just any taco cart. This is an actual taco cart in California called the Vigas Taco Cart. The business owner, Victor, who started the business out of his grandmother's home kitchen 8 years ago, now has 3 locations around California. And this shows Bad Bunny has a commitment to supporting local small businesses over big corporations. After he visits the taco cart, we do see him ducking under boxers as he continues singing. Often considered one of the best boxing nations pound for pound, Puerto Rico has produced over a dozen Hall of Fame inductees. And in 2004, it became the first territory to have champions in all 17 traditional weight divisions. Boxing is deeply ingrained in society, and it serves as a pathway for and reflection of the island's warrior spirit. Then we see the famous casita that we were introduced to at the residency in Puerto Rico. It serves as a cultural anchor representing home, community, and the Marquesina party culture. The Marquesina is an open-air garage where people meet, greet, and talk for hours all day. And yes, Black Afro-Puerto Rican representation was brought to the forefront at the casita because Black Puerto Ricans very much exist, take up space, and are family, no matter how much white supremacy doesn't like the idea. And the same goes for queer and gay representation. We exist, live, laugh, and our gay joy is also persistent and revolutionary. But then to the melody of Monaco, he tells us that he made it to Super Bowl 60 because he believed in himself. And then he reminds you, believe in yourself, because you will be able to achieve everything you want in life if you do so. From there, we go to the actual wedding that was real and officiated at the Super Bowl. It's iconic in and within itself, but it's really about family and community and love.
Oh, I got one. I got, because you said love, so then I have a contribution.
So,
You asked for it. You're about to discover it. I think it'll be the big. Watch this. Brings home the
I don't know if you guys been getting news from me for my lives or for my stories when I put some certain music about my own following. When it comes for today's events and stuff, I don't think it's true. I don't care to find out because I've been single for a minute now.
Oh, that's not what you're looking for? Oh, I'll let you finish, my bad.
And then we reveal that Lady Gaga's in the motherfucking building. And not only in the building, but killed it. But this was also a culturally significant moment. Gaga is wearing a light blue dress, which is the correct kind of blue that goes onto the original Puerto Rican flag. That people in Puerto Rico were killed and imprisoned for flying after the U.S. passed La Ley de Mordhau, or the gag law of 1948. That light blue represents sovereignty and resistance. The current dark blue flag is supposed to resemble the blue on the American flag in support of furthering the aims of colonization supporting statehood. Gaga also accents her gown with a custom flor de maga corsage, the official flower of Puerto Rico. After that, Bad Bunny falls back off of the building as a trust fall to signify the bond of trust built on community and familial familial support that is so integral in Puerto Rican culture, as opposed to the American culture, which is toxically about rugged individualism. He's falling onto his people because he knows they will catch him, because we're all we have, and we are each other's safety net. And yes, that Puerto Rican community is built in and around the bodegas, the mini marts, the mom and pop restaurants, and the Puerto Rican barbershops and salons. At one point, he even gets a shot of coconut rum from a woman named Doñita, who he also has in his music. This is the actual Doñita, who is the owner of Brooklyn's Caribbean Social Club, one of the last surviving Puerto Rican social clubs in the city. And she is an iconic figure in New York, and there's a celebration in her honor every June 22nd. After that, Bad Bunny goes and gives his little boy self-representation, his grown-up self Album of the Year Grammy, and tells himself to always believe in himself, showing little Puerto Rican boys and Latino boys all around the diaspora that they should believe in themselves because they will go to extreme heights. Then he has a Jibaro playing the cuatro, introducing Ricky Martin singing Lo Que Le Pasó a Hawaii from his DTMF album. This instrument, the cuatro, originated in 16th century with the jibaros, and it is primarily used in música jibara, evoking traditional country life. It is a symbol of Puerto Rican soul, resilience, and identity, often used in folk music and increasingly in modern genres. And then you tie the history of that instrument to Ricky Martin singing Lo Que Pasó a Hawaii, which is Bad Bunny's song, warning that he doesn't want the U.S. to do to Puerto Rico what they did to Hawaii. The song serves as a political anthem and warning to Puerto Rico, comparing the two islands' shared experiences of colonization, displacement, rampant gentrification, and over-tourism. And he's singing in the scene of Bad Bunny's album cover, which already represents the story of how Puerto Ricans get in community with each other, sitting outside in the famous plastic white chairs, except on the album cover, they're empty, just like this chair is, because of gentrification and that displacement. And it's actually poetic that Ricky Martin is then interrupted his singing by exploding light posts behind it, with jibaros trying to fix them. Given the fact that Puerto Rico has a continually failing electric grid because the corrupt pro-statehood politicians do nothing about it. And it's interesting that you see the jibaros, the country folk, the common men and women are the ones trying to fix the problems themselves with no help or support from a governmental system. But Bad Bunny doesn't just stay on the ground singing to the camera his song El Apagón, which is really about the consistent blackouts that plague Puerto Rico. Because him on the ground having the Puerto Rican flag and singing directly to the camera demonstrates his world-facing advocacy and him using his platform to bring attention to the issue. But there's a point where he puts the flag down and climbs to the top of the light post himself to demonstrate his commitment to our people. He's saying, I will be in the trenches fixing this and in any one of our problems. We do this together. Community is central to this theme. But then we get to where we started. Bad Bunny looks at the football and he said, God bless America. And people who know English specifically heard that and said, yes, he's being nationalistic and patriotic because he is American. Yes, stick it to the man. You're Puerto Rican. You're a citizen. But then they didn't hear the part right after that. Because right after he said, God bless America, he said a Spanish word. Sea. Sea is a Spanish word that means be it. So when he said, God bless America, sea, and then lists all the countries located in the continents of the Americas, plural, what he's saying is that when we talk about America, we have to decenter the United States. He begins by listing countries geographically under the equator to the top, from the continent of South America, stops at Mexico, shifts to the Caribbean, then all the way to the top of North America with US and then Canada, framing the Americas in a way that has never been done before in a very subversive and revolutionary way, and then ends by centering Puerto Rico. So what he's saying is that together we are America, including all of the countries historically marginalized and neglected. It was a fuck you to the United States.
What if 1999 got you your choice of two pizzas, Parmesan bread bites and cinnamon bread bites?
That was phenomenally done. Shout out to Brandon Baez for that. And all we got from Magas was a takeover. And tacos. By the way, we got a takeover in tacos. But one thing I do want to mention about what Bad Bunny did that was so brilliant, because Trump and MAGA had already registered their opposition to him performing. And we know he doesn't have the nuance, the nimbleness, or the wherewithal to shift with changing winds, which meant you knew he was going to object to whatever Bad Bunny had to say. So you had the choice to place his ire and objection on whatever you wanted. And he chose love. He made it so that Trump stood opposed to love while they tried and argue the opposite. You can say what you want about Bad Bunny, MAGA, but he played your mans. You know the strong man who you needed to stand up to world leaders? Mm-hmm. And that's not even close to as bad as Trump looks. No, that wasn't. That just. You seen him. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, but more importantly, thank you so much for your support of this channel. Hey, I didn't tell y'all to go over there. From Wanda. Hi, I just wanted to share this pic of Mr. Warren showing off your Kamala was right shirt on Don Lemon. Okay, I see you, Warren. I see you. Don don't look happy though. I didn't tell him go over there, Don. I didn't. No, we good. Hey, Don just came home. I don't want them problems. I don't. We good. You look good though, Warren. I like the Kamala was right. You look. I like t-shirt. It fits nice and slimmy and everything. And by the way, I'll be offering discount codes every week during my Tuesday lives. So make sure you tune in live each and every Tuesday, every week in the month of February, and get the discount code for that day. Oh, I forgot.
Donald Trump has just been smacked in the face. The dagger has been stuck in his chest. The worst polling yet for Donald Trump, which is also the worst polling in history. The latest YouGov Economist poll that just dropped has Donald Trump's overall approval at 37%. Only 37% approve, 56% disapproval. On the generic ballot for the midterms, Democrats are wiping the floor with Republicans. A blue tsunami like we've never seen before is currently developing. Democrats, 44%, Republicans, 38%. And then when you go on specific issues with registered voters, like immigration, Trump's approval, net -9. The economy, a new low, net -19. Inflation, net -22. Net negatives across the board for the biggest loser president in United States history, who continues to cover up a child sex trafficking ring. Let's look at young voters right here, where Trump's approval amongst people who were 18 to 29 years old back in February of 2025, Trump had a +9 approval. But then in April of 2025, it was -21. How low can you go? How low can you go? In December 2025, -37. And right now, February 2026, Trump's approval at 25% amongst the 18 to 29-year-old demographic. His approval, net -42, because young people now have realized, surprise, surprise, that Donald Trump is a con artist, a scammer, a fraud, a felon, a sexual abuser who is destroying their future and protecting the Epstein class. It's clear what's going down right here. As this one account says, this shift is wild, and you can see it everywhere in real time. Social media, athletes, podcasters. Hello, we've always been on the right side of this one. Being a Trump supporter in 2026 is embarrassing. It is a stain to say that you are MAGA. It shows that you are part of a cabal that protects the Epstein class. It shows that you're okay with pedos, that you're okay with covering up child sex trafficking, that you're okay with destroying the economy to prop up the right-wing oligarchs and the Epstein class. That's what it shows. And again,
not good for Donald Trump. I'll just show you how they're talking about it on corporate media just so you get a perspective. On CNN, they've never seen numbers like this. Harry Enton was literally jumping up and down and saying, whoa, this is the worst turn I've ever seen. Here, play this clip.
Donald Trump took a beautiful swan and turned it into an ugly duckling as far as the American people are concerned. Because these numbers, as John and I were discussing just before this segment, absolutely crazy in how the American people have totally turned on Donald Trump. Take a look here. Trump's net approval rating on jobs and employment. In January 2025, look at that. Overall, plus 9 points. Hey, that's pretty good. But down he goes, minus 13 points overall. But you think that's nuts? Take a look at the independents. They go from plus 7 way down off the screen to minus 30 points. That's a 37-point drop in the net approval for Donald Trump among independents on the issue of jobs and employment.
Again, with independents, just consistently, we're seeing these staggering changes over just a year. A pretty quick period of time.
Just 1 year of time.
All right, this next chart is actually the one that really blew my mind. It's about people's views of the job market in general over a similar period of time.
Yeah, okay, if you think these numbers are crazy, this next one, these are bonkers. Okay, what are we talking about here? Americans rate the job market as bad or good. February 2025, equal shares. Say fair or say bad or good. 42. Look at this now. Over just a year's time, now the clear majority, 52%, up like a rocket, rated as bad compared to just 33% down in the basement who rated as good. So what we've seen is Americans rating the job market. It was an even split a year ago, and now the clear majority by a 19-point margin rated as bad rather than good, and that goes a long way to explain why Donald Trump's numbers on jobs and employment have fallen to the floor.
Just to be clear, this is Donald Trump's presidency. During Donald Trump's presidency, these views have changed a lot. What are people's views in general of the jobs market?
Okay, so, we're looking at the current state of the jobs market. What about going down the line, right? Views towards the future. Okay, the jobs outlook. Expect unemployment in the next 6 months to go up or go down. Well, back in January 2025, right when the Donald Trump presidency was about to begin, 38. But look at this. Views towards the future. 50% now expect unemployment to go up in the next 6 months. That is the highest saying that they expect unemployment to go up since the Great Recession. No wonder why Donald Trump's approval rating on jobs and employment have fallen through the floor.
And folks, if you look at what Trump and MAGA are saying, what this Epstein class of people are saying, it's like, do you realize what the American people are going to? Do you realize that people can't afford homes? Do you realize people are psychologically tortured living paycheck to paycheck? Do you realize that people are having their health care ripped away by all of you while you're saying, oh, this is amazing? Instead, you have Donald Trump sycophants like Congressmember Mark Alford saying, oh, we're going to be looking into the Bad Bunny lyrics because these lyrics are perverted and really bad. They have some right-wing conspiracy of someone who rewrote the Bad Bunny lyrics, which are not what the lyrics are. And the MAGAs start spreading that these were the lyrics and it was actually about sex and all of these things. I don't know. How about you look into the Epstein cover-up? How about you look into the fact that Ghislaine Maxwell was moved to a club-fed VIP facility by the Trump regime protecting the Epstein class? Just watch how pathetic this is. Here, play this clip.
Over to the Bad Bunny, bad performance to the Super Bowl halftime. We're still investigating this. There's a lot of information that has come out about the lyrics. I saw the halftime show and was switching back and forth with the TV USA halftime show. The lyrics, from what we have seen from Bad Bunny, are very disturbing. And if it holds true that I don't speak fluent Spanish, okay? I know how to ask where the bathroom is, but these lyrics, if it is true what was said on national television, we have a lot of questions for the entities that broadcast this. And we'll be talking with Brendan Carr from the SEC about this. But this could be much worse than the Janet Jackson wardrobe malfunction. Let's put it that way.
And in addition addition to that 18 to 29 demographic, Latinos, particularly Latino men, have turned against Donald Trump. If you're in the Latino community and you're MAGA or a Trump supporter right now, it is the most embarrassing thing imaginable. Look, my wife is Mexican. My daughters have Mexican. And, I go to those events, just to see some MAGA people. Right now, not at all. Latino voters, and let's not lump Latinos together. Don't make that Latinx mistake. Make sure you understand that different Latinos are different, okay? Mexicans, Cubans, Venezuelans, Haitians, Colombians. We can go through different groups, but the point is, across the board, though, Donald Trump is racially profiling and attacking all Latinos. And they realize it. They recognize what's going on. So a massive shift in Donald Trump's approval. We saw it going down. I'll show you this report from Harry Hinton back in November. But right now, Trump's approval amongst Latinos is like, I don't know, like his overall approval is like plus 24, plus 25. It's that same 18 to 29 demo. Here's what Harry Hinton described then. Here, play this clip.
The Latino vote. What are we seeing among the polls there?
Yeah, what are we seeing? One of the big shifts in 2024 from 2020 was that shift towards Donald Trump, right? Immigration played a key role in that. I want to start off with Latinos on Trump and immigration. Back a year ago, what did we see on the issue of immigration? Latino voters trusted Kamala Harris more than Donald Trump, but by just 2 points. 1, 2. Look now at Donald Trump's net approval rating on immigration among Latinos. He is 38 points underwater. That is a 36-point shift, essentially, from where we were a year ago on immigration. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are basically tied on the issue of immigration. And now on the issue of immigration, Latinos despise, hate Donald Trump. 38 points underwater. In their mind, he is doing something absolutely wrong when it comes to immigration.
What about the Latino vote overall?
What about the Latino vote overall? All right, how do Latinos feel about Donald Trump overall? Let's take a look here. This, I think, sort of gives the game away. Yeah, oh my goodness. I mean, that is the phrase of the day. Trump's net approval rating among Latinos. In early February, again, he was just 2 points underwater. Look at where he is now. Late October, minus 34 points. 34 points underwater. A shift to 32 points over the course of this year. I should point out this is the CBS News YouGov poll, but I was looking at the average poll. I was looking at our own poll. Very similar shift. 20, 25, 30-point shifts on the net approval rating away from Donald Trump among Latinos overall. Again, whatever Donald Trump is doing in office, in the minds of Latinos, it is not working. They have turned against him in massive, massive numbers.
As he said, Latinos hate Donald Trump. And they see people like this. Donald Trump's acting head of ICE, Todd Lyons, when he was asked, okay, can you please remove the masks and stop having armed Border Patrol and Gestapo torturing and terrorizing people? Can we maybe try to, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to have to terrorize and torture and racially profile. These people are insane. Here, play this clip.
Mr. Lyons, will you apologize to the family of Renee Good for being called a domestic terrorist by the president and his leadership?
No, sir.
Why not?
When I downloaded my first game of G5, it kind of blew my mind. It was the fastest connection.
As an editor, it's just seamless editing.
I was like a kid in a candy store, man.
Right. And that was exciting. I was like, wow.
Why not?
Sir, I welcome the opportunity to speak to the family in private, but I'm not going to comment on any active investigation.
Is she a domestic terrorist?
Sir, I'm not going to comment on the investigation. And the president and Secretary of Home are elected officials. That's their right to their comments. But as criminal law enforcement, we won't speak to them.
Do you agree with their comments?
Sir, I'm not going to go ahead and talk about any ongoing investigation.
Will you apologize to the family of Alex Preddy for also being called a domestic terrorist?
Sir, again, I'm not going to speak to any ongoing investigation.
Now I want to bring in Arizona Senator Gallego. Senator Gallego, great to see you. I was showing clips there at the outset and showing the data that shows a massive exodus away from Trump and MAGA by Latino voters. Now, you and I have been discussing this now for years, basically. We talked about it in 2024 before the election when you flagged this was going to be a major issue for Democrats. We talked about it during the early stages of this Trump regime last year. Here we are now, and there is this exodus. It doesn't necessarily mean that those voters are going to automatically be going Democrat, but it shows they're leaving MAGA. What do you make of it?
Well, I mean, so, when I was talking about in 24, when we were going into it, what I was hearing from working class men, and we're talking about working class Latino men, largely without college degrees, and to some extent, some Latinas, that are, with kids. And what I was hearing then was that, I don't agree with what's happening at the border, and I can't buy anything, and the Democrats aren't talking to me, right? I was Cassandra at that point and yelling at everybody, and I think we missed the mark. And one of the things I talked about in, I think, January or February at the beginning of 2025 was that if this administration doesn't focus on cost of living and, goes overboard when it comes to immigration enforcement, that they were going to lose Latinos. And largely it's for two reasons. Number one, I think when there's a certain amount of attacks that happen on a community, there is this kind of idea that people kind of just coalesce to protect each other. And when they started going after moms and pops, people that were, had been in this country for a long time, yes, they were here illegally, but, had no criminal record, had kids who were Americans. You started hearing about deportations of kids, parents of U.S. veterans, of active military personnel. And then when they started racially profiling, that's when I knew that things were going to go south for that. And then there was just kind of this quick movement where it went from, there was this kind of thing within Latino male community that it was cool to be a Trump supporter. And when they started deporting these, men and women, working class women, separating families, racially profiling, and then killing U.S. citizens on the streets, that's when I realized it was no longer going to happen. And that's when I saw some of my Latino friends that were not MAGA supporters, but Trump supporters last time around, suddenly started hiding their hats, taking down their posts, and that's when I realized that they had lost the vibe of being good or being, something that was okay to be. And the other thing is there's a the Republicans and